Boom, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Odin Chronicles. We are up to episode number 21. And here we go, documenting my journey going through the Odin project. Right about now, we have finished the test-driven development section, also known as TDD. All right, and what test-driven development is all about, we can go to the short article here, because don't take it from me. I'm kind of stupid here. Biggest thing about test-driven development is it makes debugging a lot easier. Let me bring this up here and full screen it. But some of the other things you can use automated tests for, keeps you out of the debugger, reduces bugs, reduces the cost of change, improves design, encourages refactoring, builds a safety net to defend against other programmers. And how else does test-driven development take development to the next level? Well, it says here, improves productivity, minimize time spent debugging, improves communication, creative living up-to-date specification. I don't know what that means. And that's pretty much it. Biggest thing is makes debugging easier. You can also write what's called mock functions that if you're unsure of what a particular function's data will return back to you, you can write a test or a mock function and kind of see what data you get back and refactor your code from there. So that's TDD. Had to just do a quick project. And the project wasn't too bad, except Caesar Cipher, if you're familiar with this problem here, was very, very tough. And this took me several days to figure this out with help, of course. Shout out to the Odin Project Discord community for the help there. But basically what Caesar Cipher is, you're given a letter and a shift factor. And depending on the shift factor, it's going to shift that letter that number of times. So if you're given A and a shift factor of 1, it's going to return B. And you also got to take into consideration wrapping as well. So if you reach the end of the alphabet, Z, and let's say you give a shift factor of 2, you should get B back. So this is the code here. I'm a little retarded. Don't let me explain it to you. But if we go to my test file here, this is basically what, how you write a unit test here. You put the test keyword and you write a little description. You make a little function. You write the expect keyword, calling the function that you like. In that case, it's Caesar Cipher, or passing those arguments into it. A with the shift factor 1 should return B. We go down here, lowercase z, the shift factor 5 should return E. As you can see, it wraps around there. So yeah, Caesar Cipher was a tough one, man. Caesar Cipher was a tough one. But glad to have that done and learn something new about test-driven development. So enough of that there. Now we move on to Project Battleship. And this one should be a very, very tough project. A very, very tough project. A lot going on here, but hey, I'm going to take it one step at a time. Right about now, I'm just in the planning section. Word of advice, hey, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the brightest, but whenever you're starting out on any project, make sure you plan everything. Planning is crucial. Plan every step. Ask the why behind everything. Why am I doing this? What happens if this happens? What happens if that occurs and this occurs? The who, what, when, where, and why. All that stuff. All that different stuff. So plan everything out. I'm just kind of writing some basic pseudo code here on a piece of paper, visualizing as well what I want my final end product to look like there. I also got myself a whiteboard too that I can write some ideas on there and hopefully translate that into code. Boom, there's the whiteboard there. Hopefully that should help a lot. And yeah, just plan everything out. Plan everything out, pseudo code, and get your thoughts down. See if you can translate your thoughts into code. So basically, we got to make a factory function first that creates ship objects, including their length, number of times they've been hit, whether or not they've been sunk. You should also have the hit method too, that increases the number of hits in your ship, and also an isSunk method or function that calculates it based on the length and the number of hits. So that's where we're starting out right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of visualizing, going through the planning of what I want to do with this project. Going to take my time with it, break it down one step at a time. I want to really make sure for this project here, a goal of mine is to keep my code very clean and organized. Following along with object-oriented programming principles and just using the single responsibility principle. Very, very important that a function should really only do one thing. That in the past, hey, I'm very guilty of it. I would write a function and I would use, DOM logic in there, game logic, and just kind of mix and match a bunch of different shit that goes in the function that shouldn't be there. The function should do one thing. And it really should not be relying on other functions as well. So really just make sure your code is organized, structured, it's clean, concise, and your functions, just simply do one thing with minimal interference with other functions, minimal reliance on other function, if that shit makes any sense. Boom, that's kind of basically where we're at there. My motivation, inspiration for this project is this man's project here. Michael's a man. He's a great developer there. But yeah, we have this little modal pop up here. We get to place our carrier. Boom, we get to rotate it. And we're placing our grid here, getting ready for the game. Boom, boom, boom. And then once we got all our 5 pieces, as you can see, we got our grid on the left, opponent's grid, computer's grid on the right, and we can kind of start to make our marks there and start to play the game of Battleship. And boom, that's basically it, guys. Yep, in the planning stages of Battleship, plan everything out, and visualizing this here. Hopefully, this is what I want my end product to look like right here, my end project. But yeah, in the meantime, give another video update here coming soon. Yep, be using my whiteboard here, writing down all my thoughts, translate that into code, and just take it one step at a time and ask for help when I need it. So, boom, that's Battleship. That's where I'm at right now. And until next time, guys, peace.